This is a 2011 Ural Gear-Up. It is so funky, it's cool. And I just got done testing a Can-Am Spyder, which in and of itself is a big attention-getting motorcycle, but this generates even more attention. And it's a different kind of attention. People recognize this as a motorcycle and a sidecar, but they recognize it that it's old school. It's something that it's familiar, but you don't see very often. And the type of attention that it generates is very Mayberry. So a lot of people will come over and want to talk to me about this motorcycle, and they think that it's old, and they're right. I mean, the technology on board this thing, harkens back to World War II. It runs with modern efficiency, but it is very simplistic in its manner. It's different of itself too in its ride. This is something that, because of the sidecar, it creates a whole different effect. It's kind of like a free radical spinning out there, and you're just not quite sure what it's going to do. You're going down the freeway, and with your two wheels in line with a normal motorcycle, it's going to track, and sometimes it feels its grooves a little bit. But then with this third wheel out here, sometimes it kind of wants to do its own thing. And the more you ride it, the more you become accustomed to this, and the more you can compensate for the different effects caused by the sidecar. And it's not just going down the freeway when you're going to get some kind of adverse effect from the sidecar. It's even just around town. When you're starting up and you're releasing the clutch and giving it some throttle, it's going to want to kind of lurch to the right. When you let off the throttle, it kind of lurches to the left. When you apply some front brake, you're going to start lurching to the left. It does have dual rear brakes, and that pretty much slows it down straightly. But everything that you do causes some other adverse effect. This is not the most powerful motorcycle in the world. Very old school engine. It's a air-cooled, flat, opposed twin-cylinder 750cc engine. Has a 4-speed transmission. Your first two gears are pretty close. The third and fourth are spaced out. Fourth gear is largely just a kind of overdrive or freeway gear, but it's not really built for high-speed freeway touring. What this thing is kind of what Ural says. It's more like an ATV or a car. When you're turning right or you're turning left, it kind of wants to throw you to that side because you're not leaning into it like a normal motorcycle. But you do lean into it, especially with the side hack here. You take a right-hand corner, and surprisingly, it's very easy to lift this thing up a little bit. It only took me to the second day at a very tight kind of on-ramp road where the sidecar is coming up. You can get away from that easily by having some ballast. Of course, a passenger is going to create that, but even just throwing in a bag of sand or something like that, it does make this thing easier to ride and easier to navigate right-hand corners. I spoke about the antiquity of this machine, and granted it is simplistic, but it does have some modern amenities on it, especially right here with this large front Brembo disc brake. A lot of good stopping power here. It's a little mushy at the lever, even though it has a steel braided line. Of course, that could probably bled out a little bit. Yeah, you can easily lock up this front end with 3 fingers application. Now, that could also be because you're not quite getting the weight bias that you would on a normal motorcycle when you hit your front brake. But yeah, it does have a lot of good stopping power. Combined with the 2 rear brakes at the same time, it'll haul this machine down pretty quick. And the bike itself, it weighs about 800 pounds, so it's actually a little bit less than a Goldwing. So with the braking power that you have, combined with the not so much horsepower that this thing has, you have a pretty safe braking components here. Now, I haven't spent a lot of time in this part of the motorcycle. Fellow editor Troy, you'll see him in the video playing monkey in some of our off-road applications. He got bounced around a little bit. Now, the sidecar is fantastic, though. I mean, I'm 5'11", and I can stretch my legs out completely in this thing. It's got a nice, comfy seat, a little grab handle up here. It's fantastic. The seat does come out. You pop this thing out. I loaded this thing down with a wheelbarrow full of firewood. It has a trunk here in the back, spare tire rack. So if you do like going places and being adventurous in some sort of touring or off-road activity, this is a good rig to do it. So This is the Gear-Up model, and what's particular about the Gear-Up model is it is accessorized more than some of the other ones. You've got a shovel on the other side, you've got the carrying can back here. Now they say this isn't for gasoline or drinking water. Of course you could do it if you want, but they do have kind of a DOT recognized can that you can buy. But again, significant about this model is two-wheel drive. Fantastic. You can see it, right here coming off your rear drive, right over to the sidecar wheel. It's really simple. You're in a stopped position. You just take your lever back here, put it in, boom, you've got two-wheel drive. So the Ural Gear-Up, this unit retails for about $13,000, which in my mind is a really good price for the type motorcycle that you're getting. Again, it's not for everyone, but for the particular few out there that want something different or just want a new challenge in their motorcycling career, this is something that will fulfill that challenge, no doubt about it. It's fun. It has a lot of utility purposes. If you like to work on things and to tinker, also again, it's simple. It's something that the garage mechanic can get in there and fiddle with. There's a lot of accessories you can get to make it a little bit more comfortable. If you are going to do some touring, there's a nice windscreen and things like that. But overall, it's something, again, that a person can appreciate, especially if you're a people person, because this is going to generate attention. You are going to get some people coming over and wanting to chat about it all the time. So if you're a friendly person, you want to talk about the rig, this is a great unit to do it with.